Welcome to another episode of Community Coffee and Cocktails, a place where we get to know our local business owners, community leaders, and Space Coast enthusiasts about life in Brevard County. I'm your host, Cindy Paulson. Today, I'm talking to Jessica Lynn Silva. Jessica is a probate attorney and the owner of the law office of Jessica Lynn Silva, and she practices in the areas of estate planning, wills, trust, probate administration, and trust administration. In addition, Jessica is also a Florida Supreme Court County Certified Mediator. Welcome, Jess. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for stopping by. Listen, I'm so glad you're here because I feel like estate plan is one of those things that people don't often think about until they need it.
It is. It is one of those topics that all of us avoid,
Yes.
and we kick the can down the road,
Yes.
and we think it will never happen to us until it does and you wish you had. So I always tell my clients it's the easiest money and time well spent that will save you thousands and many headaches later.
That's true. Now, just curious, what would you recommend somebody starting, their estate planning? Because for me personally, I really didn't consider it until I had a family.
Well, it's really as simple as an estate plan is you being able to have a voice when you no longer are able to actually speak your voice. You want to help a judge help you. They have no way of doing so if no one has any idea of what your wishes are. So an estate plan is really in your benefit and is very simple and cost effective. A wise one is it's always going to include the normal last will and testament or trust you hear, and those are what will come into effect when you pass away. But then they forget there's also 3 other pieces of an estate plan, and those actually work while you are alive. But say you went skiing in Colorado and you got into a coma, this is where it allows someone to speak on your behalf and keep your life going as it should, so that when you wake up, your life is not bankrupt or gone to death. That is done through a durable power of attorney, a living will, and a healthcare surrogate. So those are just, and then being that a big decision I always have clients come in with is, do I need a will or do I need a trust?
That's a good question.
Yes.
What's the difference between the will and the trust?
Will is any time when you pass away and it freezes, those are going to be assets that you die and they're in your name alone and without named beneficiaries. If so, we have to do what's called probate. And probate is the whole process where the will is just everything that it says and instructs to do. We follow through on those instructions, and it's an entire court process. And it can get a little expensive and a little long, which is why everyone always avoids it. Probate was created for the benefit of creditors, not your beneficiaries. So it gets to be a scary topic everyone wants to avoid. You are also, it's slow because you have to ask the court's permission for every action you're taking, which is done via petition and a proposed order. A trust, on the other hand, they're private, so you will actually not record it with the court. No one really knows what it ever says unless you want to show them it. And you do not have to ask the court's permission for every action you take. You literally actually are only filing a few simple documents through a trust administration. And you get to quickly take action as soon as the people pass away. A revocable living trust becomes irrevocable at time of death. And that is when everything freezes. We go in, we look at the trust beneficiaries, and we take action to get the assets out of the trust into where they're supposed to go.
Oh, that's great.
And again, if you die without a will or trust, it's called intestacy. So Florida statute, we have an intestacy law. Because you did not leave any documentation behind telling the court who you want to inherit your assets, they are going to decide for you who they think you wanted to. Some situations that's not super detrimental. It's kind of in line with your preference anyway. Many times, especially in our country now, friends and family and charities, it's a mingle of them all. It's not just family anymore.
I've seen that.
We also have a lot of blended marriages. So you have a new spouse, but you also have children from a previous relationship. So there's a lot more intricacies that it's just so important to just have it written down. Give us something, a roadmap to be able to assist you.
I would definitely agree with that. I've seen things recently or really in the past that, you're just thankful that you do have an estate plan and know who's going to take care of you, when you need it.
Yes.
Now, I'm just curious, you also have a couple of packages. You have a will package, and what else do you offer?
Well, I do estate planning and probate. So estate planning, I say I'm getting you on the front end before it's a necessity. So I'm helping you plan the most advantageous so you don't need me as much on the back end. Probate is either they didn't listen to my wisdom or they never knew me at that time, or they had something done and it was wrong, or they didn't have anything done. And we are trying to massage and do a devil's advocate, or trying to make it as easy and fix the process as we can. I like to simplify things for people because attorney is like a big scary word to some people, and we're not. They think money and time and don't really care about my needs. I like to go through all of those type issues and say that we do genuinely care about you. It is very inexpensive and it is much needed, and the return on your investment is thousandfold.
It is. It's well worth it. So what is the price on that?
For me personally, every lawyer will always have different. I'm very right on par. I'm very average, not high, not low in Brevard County. And my trust package includes a trust. It's either joint for a married couple, or if they can each have their own separate one. Then a last will and testament one for each. If you have minor children, you need to include a testamentary trust within your will, and then a durable power of attorney for each, a living will for each, and a healthcare surrogate for each. And on a trust, we need to quitclaim. It's only as good as you fund it. So we actually need to do ladybird deeds or quitclaim deeds, getting properties into the trust or making the trust the remainderment. So there's different things that we need to do in probate. Some of my older clients, they also need a pre-need guardian. I don't charge extra for each one. It's just one flat fee, and then I add a couple documents if at the conversation it looks like they're necessary. And for the trust package for a couple, it's $1,850, and that includes recording cost.
That's
and
excellent.
Then for a single person, it's $1,650. And then for a will package, it includes a last will and testament, the durable power of attorney, healthcare surrogate, living will.
Important.
And then my older clients, a pre-need guardian. Or sometimes my older clients, they've lost a spouse and they only want their home to go to one child who's an adult and pick. So we can do a ladybird deed to avoid any need for probate, period.
That's great.
And those are $900 for a couple and $700 for a single person. And it's just one flat fee, so you can call, email, text me as much as you need to, spend as much time. That includes all the sessions with me, all of your documents, and your signing appointment in the presence of 2 witnesses and a notary.
For that amount of money, that's definitely peace of mind. Highly
I always tell my ladies, it's like 2 trips to the hairdresser and you are set for life.
Come on now.
Right? Because we will throw down a couple $100 for a good haircut and highlights.
It's true.
And we need to also value the importance of having our estate plan in place.
It's very, very true. Well, that was great information. I'm so glad you stopped by. Before you leave, do you mind answering some lightning round questions?
Of course.
Excellent. So let me ask you, what's your favorite coffee?
Okay, well, I absolutely love the caramel macchiatos from Starbucks, but lately I've been having a friend that owns a wellness clinic in Brevard, and I've been meeting with her for some different allergies, and she's told me I only can have cappuccino for the next 90 days, so I'm making
Is she really a friend?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
She wants what's best for my health.
That's funny.
So I'm falling in love with cappuccinos and cutting out all the extra syrups, all the sweet cream foam, and all the extras.
So what is your one thing to do here in Brevard?
Okay, there are so many things to do in Brevard. I'm a reader and I love tranquil, peaceful. So the beach is always my favorite place, or anywhere near water or lush greenery. That's just my favorite. I love to read a book or listen to a podcast, those type of things. I also love fireplaces. So even though we're in Florida, I'm in the middle of remodeling and I had to put in a fireplace simply because I love the ambiance of it.
It is. It's very nice. That's great.
So that being at the beach, so anything to do with the beach, whether that's reading a book, having lunch, hanging out with friends, paddle boarding, renting a boat and pulling tubes for my children. So I love anything that does with water.
That's great. Now, last question. What is one thing that you're grateful for?
I am grateful for the way Brevard is very close. And we've lived here 9 years, and my husband is retired. He's 26 years in the Air Force, and we retired about it's been a while now, a little over a year that we've been retired from there. And just the relationships you make here, It's wonderful.
It's very family oriented.
They
I
are.
feel.
A lot of them are lifers coming from
Yes.
being raised military and then married to military. This is the first county that I've ever been in one place for so long that actually felt
Aw.
connected. So I love those connections. That's important to me.
It is.
Because you take it for granted here because it's so common, but if you don't come from that world, you realize what a treasure it is.
Wow. Well, I love Brevard, so I can definitely relate to that. So now let me ask you, where can people find you?
I have a website at www.jessicalynnlaw.com. And on there, you will see in the right-hand corner, it says schedule now. So you are also welcome to schedule free consultations at any time. I offer free consultations for estate planning and probate or any of your needs. And then also my current clients, that's where they can also always schedule a 15-minute phone call with me anytime they need to. If you prefer the personal touch, you're welcome to call the office at 321-474-2034, and my paralegal can assist you.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Send your questions to realestatehousewives@gmail.com, or you can direct message me here. Be sure to check out my website, realestatehousewives.com, and peruse through our hundreds of listings on the beautiful Space Coast, home to attractions like Kennedy Space Center, the Brevard Zoo, our beautiful beaches, and much more. I'm Cindy Paulson, raising the bar in residential real estate. Until next time, smile and be well.